Welcome to the Real and Real Estate Podcast, your go-to show for real estate success. Whether you're an agent aiming to crush it or a buyer or seller wanting the inside scoop, we're here to deliver expert advice, insider tips, and the real talk you need. Each episode, we chat with top industry pros to give you the facts, strategies, and inspiration you need to thrive in this business. Let's dive in and make big moves together. Hi, welcome back to the Real and Real Estate, where we talk to the experts in the industry and get the facts. And today we're here with an expert mover. This is the first time I've had movers on, and I think it's long overdue. And we are lucky enough to be here with Graceful Moves and the president, Gregory Gray. So welcome, Gregory. Thank you so much for joining us.
How's it going? Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So I'm the first mover.
You're the first mover I've had on here, yes. And
Awesome.
I
Awesome.
wanted to make sure it was someone good. So, just to give everyone, I want you to introduce yourself, but to give some background, in Houston Association of Realtors, we have an annual Engage conference, and that's where we have guest speakers and people from around the country that come in and talk. And that's where I met Graceful Moves. So I was very impressed, referred them to my client who used them like a week and a half ago, and they were extremely impressed. And so here we go. You come very highly recommended.
Awesome. Awesome. That's really, really good to hear. Yeah. So just a little bit about us. So we originally started in 2015. If I'm honest, I didn't have any moving experience when I started. This
Oh, wow.
was, I didn't have any moving experience outside of doing personal stuff. But I just had that entrepreneurial bug in me since I was a kid. And so I'm like, a buddy of mine was telling me that he was working for another moving company, and he didn't have the best experience. And so I started doing my research, and I'm like, man, you know what? There's not a whole lot of moving companies that's doing a really good job at, the basics, customer service, saying what you're going to do and doing what you're going to say, or doing what you say. And so I'm like, you know what? I think I can actually get into this industry and do really well. You know what I mean? So we started in
Yes.
2015 with a primary goal just to provide grade A customer service. I'm seriously, there was nothing else. I just want to provide really, really good customer service. And so we did that. In 2025, me and my wife launched Graceful Moves from our apartment complex, right? We were dispatching
Oh,
right from the apartment. Yeah. And we started off providing a labor only service. So the client rent a truck, and then we would come out and we would do the moving, right? And
right.
periodically we would move the truck, or we would drive the truck for them. And every job we just wanted to get better and better. So if I wasn't, on the job, I was training, learning more about moving, how to do better, right? And and while I was on the job, I was booking my next job. You know what I mean? And
Fantastic.
after every job, the goal was again do a really good job and get a really good review. And I would say 6 months in, was able to purchase our first truck, and that was 2015. Every year we grew up until 2022. I'll save that story, but post COVID, as you know, as a realtor, the market shifted, and so we had a
Yes.
little rocky area, but we made it out of that, and yeah, we still have that same goal: provide grade A customer service, and it's working for us.
Well, according to my clients and friends, you gave grade A service. That's for sure. They were very, very pleased. And I want to read something real quick here. Their website is gracefulmovestx.com. But I was looking at some of the reviews because obviously my clients love them. But it was funny if I can get to it here. Okay, well, one said definitely use again, but this one I thought was fast, professional, careful with the product, and in all caps they said give those guys a raise. So did you read that review? Did you give them a raise?
I did not, but man, Graceful Moves would be out of business if we gave a raise every time a client said that, right? So
Well,
we
that's
get
good.
that so
That's
often.
good.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, our team, we have, and it's like, of course I would say this, right? But our team is really phenomenal. Like I just have a good team. I got a couple buddies who I've been knowing since I started Graceful Moves, and they'll ask me, how did you guys grow so fast, or how did you consistently grow, or whatever. I don't have like, I'm not special. I didn't go to school for this or anything like that. One thing I'm really good at by God's grace is identifying really, really good help. You know what I mean? And really,
Mhm.
really good people.
That's
And
so important.
Yeah, it's really important. Our team is just really, really dope, and because of them, we're able to do what we've done. And so, what your customer, what your clients experience is true. You know, we're guilty.
Well, I one of the things I like it. Well, our goal, that's our goal. I mean, and again, every realtor is going to say they do this, they do that, but customer service really is what it's about. I feel if you give the best of yourself that you can and do the best for your client, then your company is going to grow organically. And I
Come on.
sometimes hate that word, but I think it's very descriptive, and it sounds like that's what's happened with you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I know what you mean by hating that word. It's like it's a buzzword overly abused at this point,
Yeah,
but seriously, so you know, a little into our marketing side. So we didn't always work with our, I guess, target real estate realtors. It's like you would think we would have, but I actually have a really I have a fear of public speaking, right? And so I'm
well, when
serious.
I
I was
saw you, you did great, so you've gotten over
yeah.
it.
I appreciate it. I haven't gotten over it. I hide it really well though. But you know, so the idea of going in front of the real estate offices and doing lunch and learns, I just ran from it. It wasn't until last year that we started doing a lot of networking with real estate agents, and it's worked really well for us. But to the point of like growing organically in the real estate industry, honestly, it seems like you have to do a good job at building relationships and nurturing those relationships, taking care of
Absolutely.
each client, right, to build your company. It's not like there's a lot of industries out there. You can put some money into Google, put some money into Yelp or whatever, and right, and get clients to come in, treat them like, you know, whatever, and then just go for a different client. But in the real estate industry, you have to take care of each client. And it's the same for us, especially if we're working with realtors.
Yeah.
And so in that regard, I think you if you're going to do well, you're going to grow organically. It's going to have to be the organic route as you take care of your clients. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We are not a one and done brokerage, meaning you, okay, I got to check, I'm on to the next thing. I don't care about you anymore. That is not how we function. And
Right.
it sounds like that's not how you function either, which I totally appreciate.
Absolutely.
Well, one thing I got from you I thought was real interesting. I want to touch base on, and then we can circle back again. I thought this was First of all, let me say I've moved probably way too many times in my life because I hate packing and moving. So I appreciate good movers, and I will definitely talk about the ones that don't do a good job. But I'm not here. Anyway, you sent out a flyer, an email to me that it said, "Beware of red flags when hiring movers."
Oh
And I
yeah.
think you can't just base it on, oh well, this guy's cheaper, so I'm going to go with that company. But I love the fact that you sent this out because it's so important. I'm just going to highlight them and then we can talk about them. But it says the basics aren't in writing. Don't ever do anything that's not in writing, people, in any kind of real estate transaction. That includes moving. Their details are not clear. It's like, oh, we'll talk about that later. They didn't share required information, and significant payment was paid up front. Never make a huge payment up front in anything you're doing, people, because they could take it and run. So I wanted to talk a little bit about these red flags, and well, I'm just going to let you talk about them. I've been talking.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I'll just go a little bit more in depth on each point. So yeah, so
Yeah.
that's our beware of red flags document. So we send it out via email, like you said. We also take it to real estate brokerages now. Here's the thing: in the let me watch my words. So
Okay.
the moving industry has stepped it up a whole lot over the years. They really have. Just the industry as a whole, how it's regulated. However, it's not regulated enough. And there's a lot of good moving companies out here in the Houston area that would agree with me 100%. Um, which means that there's a lot of rogue movers out there, and these are just basically movers that's not regulated by anybody. And so I send this document out because you guys, as realtors, you guys do a really, really good job. I just purchased my first house at right at the end of 2025, right?
Oh,
Uh,
congratulations.
yeah, thanks a lot. But it wasn't until I went through that process that I seen how much you guys really go through as realtors, right? Uh,
Yeah. It's not
it's a lot.
HGTV, I promise you.
Yeah, I promise you. Yeah, yeah. A good friend of mine, Jimmy, he's with Sohu Realty. I just asked him last night. I'm like, Jimmy, you know, what do you love and hate about real estate? The thing he said he hated was that you guys do a lot of work that's unpaid, right? You guys do a lot of stuff
Mm.
that's unpaid. what you
Yeah,
have to, right?
we do.
You get nurturing relationships and stuff. But to that point, you guys do this really good job getting your customer to the closing table, right? And then what happens when they get into this brand new house, their biggest investment, and they end up in the hands of the wrong mover, right? So they end up,
Hmm.
going with the rogue moving company. To the first point, right? That's um, they call them, they give them a really good deal. Most clients think it's all about the price. They give them a really good price, and they pretty much say, okay, cool, I'll be there on move day at this time. Nothing's in writing. Okay, that's a first red
Right.
flag. So common. It's so common. It's just a handshake deal. We get clients all the time where we're going back and forth. They end up going with another mover, and we say we do a thing where if a moving company has a 5-star rating, we'll match or beat the price. And so we'll ask, hey, send us over the estimate they sent or they gave you. Oh, well, they didn't send me an estimate, right? It was just a down
Ah,
payment. I'm like, wow, so nothing's in writing. One of the biggest red flags, right? Um,
yes.
Another thing with it, the details aren't clear. Okay, so in our industry, it's really common to have to do like a 2 hour minimum or a 3 hour minimum. But
Right.
one thing a lot of moving companies do is they'll have like all these minor fees that they're not in the details, right? Or at least it wasn't discussed in the conversation. And so
Right.
it'll be like, they charge for stairs, they charge for shrink
Excuse me
wrap.
a second. Excuse me a second here, Gregory. We have a surprise guest that won't leave me
Yeah.
alone. This is
Hey,
Sophie. She wants to know if you move dog houses and dog beds.
we moved dog house and dog beds. Hey, Sophie. That's a beautiful
Sorry
dog.
about that. Okay,
No,
go
no, you're
ahead.
good. You're good. But yeah, the details aren't clear. So you want to be mindful of that. Like, always ask, is there any pricing that you're not telling me about? Do you charge for stairs? Do you charge for
Oh,
shrink wrap
yeah.
and these are a lot of things that's out there. Um, they didn't share the required information. Kind of all go hand in hand. Here's a pro tip for anyone ever looking for a mover and want to make sure that they're solid. You can go on the FMCSA website, and the
Okay.
moving company and so that's fmcsa.gov, I believe. The moving company that you're looking for or that you're talking to, they're required to give you their license if you ask for it, right? So you just simply
Right.
it's a part of your rights and responsibility. You simply ask them, "Hey, can I get your license number for the FMCSA website?" And you go in there and you check if they're licensed, if they're insured, if they're even heard of. Because if they're not, there's no one and nothing holding them accountable. Okay.
Insurance
Um,
is very important.
Really important. As much as I would like to say moving is perfect, nothing ever happens, things do happen. Okay. But I always say, so our damage claim rate is under 1%. However, that 1% is still a claim. But the question is, what do we do when it happens? Are we going to ghost our client? We're
Right.
not. There's a lot of people that do, right? But if they don't have the insurance to take care of your precious items, it really doesn't even matter. Okay.
Right.
Um, the last thing is just a significant upfront payment. So we do a $99 deposit if it's locally. If it's interstate, we do a 10% deposit. Anything more than that, like there's moving companies that they want the whole 2 hour minimum up front. That's crazy.
No.
You got yeah.
No, don't do that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just these red flags. And if we have this document, feel free to reach out to us. This is not something we give for just our clients. We give this out period. We just want to make the industry better in Houston.
And now, time for a short break.
Ready to jumpstart your social media strategy? I'm Katie Lance, and the Get Social Smart Academy is your go-to for smarter content planning. Get weekly trainings, Canva templates, and AI tools to save time and grow your business. Go to katielance.com/academy to join us today.
Wonderful. I love that. Also, I was looking on your website. You move lots of things, pianos, gun safes.
Yeah,
Um, that's impressive. Is there a weight limit on the gun safes? Because we
it
are in
is.
Texas.
Yeah, right. There you go. Right. It is. So it's funny you say we are in Texas. It used to be 300 pounds. A little bit about me. I'm actually originally from California. Okay.
Okay.
So everything's different. You guys don't shoot me down for that. All right. I love my wife is
Well,
from
move the
my
gun
wife
safe
is
carefully then.
right. Yeah, my wife is from Houston. But I've been here for a while now. But anyway, so we used to do 300 pounds. And then we seen how prevalent gun safes are, right? So we
Yes.
actually went up to 800 pounds. Anything beyond that is just not in our wheelhouse. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. 800 pounds, that's a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think most of the companies that I've had clients with gun safes, and 300 pounds was their limit. And most of them won't do pianos, for example. I don't think anybody moves plants. But what about, do you ever move, like, I had one client that had 1,000 bottles of wine.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So
You
we
move
move.
wine?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a licensing thing, right? So the plants. The reason why plants are an issue is because it's only when there's dirt in there. It's just a licensing issue. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
literally got to be licensed to move dirt. But same as wine, right? You got to be licensed to do it. And so, but we have workarounds. And so if any client
Okay.
out there, if that's a thing, there's workarounds to where we can get it
Okay.
done.
So you can help them, at least guide them in that respect.
Correct.
Now I see you also do packing and unpacking, or you have people that do that?
We do. So we do packing. We do unpacking. And I'm gonna give a plug here too. There's a company called 101 A Beautiful Mess. Phenomenal women. They do a lot of they pack, unpack, and organize. So we also pack and unpack. The reason why I want to plug them is because when a moving company packs and unpacks, the packing part is all the same for anyone who does it, right? But when we unpack, we usually table load, or we call it counter load. So we'll unpack the boxes and we place items on the counters, or counter
Right.
load, table load, or floor load. And the reason why we do it that way is because unless we're under a binding estimate, it's hourly, and usually it's it's just going to cost a lot, right? To say, hey, I want these specific cups in this cabinet, these plates in that.
Right. Right.
We don't mind doing it at all, right? But it's usually not the best route to go. Um, now our girls at A Beautiful Mess, they organize, right? So they typically help these large they people who's downsizing from like really large homes to like senior living or high
Right.
rises. They'll come in and then they'll unpack, but they'll also organize, right? Get everything packed up. And for
Fabulous.
them, they're great. They're really great. And the client allows them to just take over because they organize. Like that's what they do. You don't want movers organizing your stuff.
I
Yeah.
understand. Well, we got to stay in your lane, as they say, areas of
Yeah.
expertise.
There you go.
Absolutely. And I see you do commercial moves as well.
We do commercial moves. Yeah, commercial moves is probably about 15% of what we do. We do a lot of that during the winter. I think probably because most companies tend to kind of slow down and they can handle a move during that time.
Right.
And but yeah, we do commercial moves. Those are usually so we have all of our insurances. We have our cargo, our regular. So with the moving industry, you
Right.
have to have cargo and auto for the moving industry. Okay, but
Right.
if you're gonna get into commercial, you also have to have general liability. At least about $1 million worth of general liability. So we have our GL. So you'll see us at any given moment, downtown, major high rises, moving whole floors or a few pieces.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, what else can you want to tell us about graceful moves that maybe I haven't gotten off of your website yet or heard from my friends?
Yeah. I mean, we just honestly and genuinely shoot to be the best. Last year, and by the best is not by, in comparison to another company. The idea is what are clients needing? I think we're a really, really good moving company. But we're always trying to tweak and figure out more ways that we can, save them time. For example, we just recorded about 10 videos that we're gonna start. So we do free box delivery, right? So if
Wow.
and when a client books with us, we'll deliver boxes right to their door. We've been doing that. We take a picture, we leave. But now we're leaving a QR code with those boxes, and that QR code takes you to a landing page that shows you, you go to this landing page, you click the size box you need to pack, and it's a video that tells you exactly what box or what you can pack in those boxes, how to pack those
Ah,
boxes, all these different things. So we're always just trying to find more
fabulous.
ways to provide a greater service and make it a more of a smoother process. Um, we
Let
actually
me
just
ask let me ask you this about boxes. Do you ever pick up the boxes once they're unpacked, or
yeah.
no? You do?
Yeah, so this is the first time yeah. So we do disposal. Essentially, that's what that is, right? So So I'm gonna answer that question, but I want to paint the picture of what it's like on move day working with us. So we give you a call. We give you a call the day before to make sure everything is good, nothing's changed. Okay. And so we the day of the move, we send a text message out 30 minutes to an hour before we arrive. Once our movers
Okay.
arrive there, you get them signed in and they get started right away. So we're gonna make sure floor runners are laid down on your floors, door protectors are up on your doors at both pickup and drop off. We're going to take care of all the disassembly for you. We keep up with the hardware. We disassemble.
Fabulous.
Yeah, we're going to make sure everything's properly padded and protected. We get everything moved over to the new place. We reassemble everything, exactly where you want it. And again, floor runners, door protectors, the works. Now, the as it relates to what were we saying? Oh, so once we start reassembling, oftentimes clients will have new items, right? New items that they purchased from a furniture store that we'll
Right.
also assemble for them. Okay. And
Oh,
so
that's amazing.
yeah. So we'll get that done. And we haul off all the materials. If there's a fee associated, it's a small fee, but we haul off the materials and we dispose it. Now this is the first time I'm saying this publicly. We just had a big team meeting, but this year we're going to be launching our first junk removal truck. Okay, we
Oh
work.
my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we work with so many realtors who's always at like we do these events and they're like, okay, all this stuff is good that you guys do. Do you do junk removal? It's like, I don't do junk removal, right? And so we're actually going to be doing junk removal now. We're going to launch our first truck this year. So that's the other reason is when we hauling off stuff and we bring it back to our yard, we have a dumpster for it, but it's when we're hauling stuff off, it gets filled too quickly. And so we're like, you know what? With the demand on junk removal and the fact that we need a bigger dumpster, I just think if we just start marketing junk, it's just perfect timing. So it's going to be called great. It's
Yes.
going to be called Graceful Junk. And
I
so we're
love it.
gonna yeah. And so yeah, we're gonna launch that this year.
Wow, that's amazing. I love it. You're getting to be totally full service here.
Yeah. We're gonna stick with junk removal. We're not gonna go beyond that. You know what I mean? You know how you can. There's some companies out there. If you go too far out your wheelhouse, you kind of lose that. You lose your touch, right? And so
Yeah, well,
junk
exactly.
removal
Yeah.
is right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have moved, like I said, several times, and this was years ago, found a company. I thought, well, they did a pretty good job. And then they got bought out by some big giant, and their service totally changed.
I know what you mean.
Totally
Yeah.
changed. And we've seen that in other industries where that happens. So don't get so big that you're going to get bought out.
There you go. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're my mover from now on for sure.
Let's go. Let's go. I appreciate that. Another thing I want to share. If there's So real estate teams, right? We again always trying to figure out how can we provide more value. All right. So we've noticed that we get special promotions for realtors, right? Specifically for realtor clients. No one else gets those promotions. And so one of the things is free boxes. However, for realtors, we give their clients more than we would typically give, other clients. So what we're
Wonderful.
doing, what we just rolled out, only for real estate teams or specific realtors, right? So we can talk about the details later, but we're doing free co-branded boxes with real estate teams or realtors. Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
we're going to talk offline.
yeah. Oh yeah. We have to talk. So we're doing. I wish I had one around here. So we're doing free co-branded boxes. And my idea when we first came up with this, I thought it would be cool to use these boxes for clients that need to declutter. So and it's a good marketing piece, right? So once a client signs up with you, you can give them 1 to 5 boxes. It's co-branded, it has your logo, your information on it with a QR code that goes to your landing page.
Yeah,
They can also give these boxes away, and again, that's free marketing for you as well.
right.
Then our information we're co-branded on there. Our information is there as well. But the cool thing, another addition to that, is the QR code that we put on there for Graceful Moves. It's a co-branded landing page. So our landing page we co-brand with the realtor, so that when the client fills out the form, it goes into our CRM and it shows us, hey, this is for this one here is from X real estate team or
Right,
X
right.
realtor. And then we give those same promotions and so forth. So a really cool way for realtors to be able to provide more value. And then again, another way that we can provide more value to you guys. Since I've rolled this out, realtors are saying that they can use it in a lot of different ways, right? So not just with my idea, but I guess when you guys do walkthroughs for, when you're trying to sell yourself to a listing client,
Right.
one of the things you can do is say, you know what, here's these boxes, even if they hadn't signed up yet, but here's these free boxes. Just another way to set yourself apart from every other realtor that they're going to
Absolutely.
talk to. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, my friends moved 2 weeks too early, darn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh well. Well, I think this is fabulous. We're just about out of time. So are there any last things you want to say? I know it's gracefulmovestx.com is your website, right?
That's it. Yeah. GracefulMovesTX.com. If you're looking at us on social media, it's Graceful Moves Texas. Okay. Graceful Moves
Okay.
Texas. That's on all platforms. But yeah, no, if you
Okay.
guys have any questions, comments, concerns, and honestly, what you guys knew me personally, it's not all about you guys booking me and moving with us. We genuinely love helping. So rather you're calling me or calling Ryan. Ryan's one of our lead sales guys, the Move Concierge. I think your client may have worked with Ryan. But then we have Alan,
That
who
sounds familiar. Yeah.
yeah, then we have Alan, who's phenomenal. He's been in the industry for 15 plus years. Yeah, if you just call and you just want questions answered, we're genuinely just a service-based company. We'll help you out, lead you in the right direction if we can't help you.
One thing I want to add too, as realtors, we always have, we should give more than one suggestion of any industry or any
Yeah,
contractor. And my clients did talk to another moving company, and they were giving estimates over the phone where you guys came out and actually saw the place, saw what needed to be done, and gave a good hard estimate. And along with being very, very nice and helpful. But that was very important to them. And I think should be very important to anybody. You can't
yeah,
really give a
yeah.
good estimate over the phone.
I love that you, Gene. I get into these, conversations or podcasts. I'm on camera and I forget like a lot of things, right? but, but seriously, that what you mentioned, I'm happy you brought it up. That's a really big deal. If you have, if you're moving anything larger than 3 bedroom, and even some 3 bedrooms, you have to have someone come out and take a look at your items. You just
Yeah,
have
you
to,
should.
right? It's
Mhm.
almost impossible. Like there's too many variables with moving, right? So that can make your time go longer or whatever. And you don't want any surprises on move day. And so
No,
yeah, right. And so, and look, sometimes the surprise isn't just the cost. Sometimes the surprise is, oh, I thought my move was only going to take 4 hours, and they're out there for 10 hours. And it's
yeah,
like, you're not the professional. So that honestly, like, if we ever made a mistake like that, that would be our fault. We take responsibility for that because there's no way for you as a client to
impressive.
know what's
Yeah,
how many men are needed or how long it's going to take, right? So anyway, for us, anything over a 3 bedroom, we're going out there. And even if we're talking to you about a 3 bedroom and you're saying, I have this, it sounds like everything in the house is pretty like self-explanatory, everything seems okay. And then you get to the
right.
garage, it's like, now my garage, I don't know. We've
Different
been here for
story.
15 years. It's a different story. We're like, you know what? We need to get out there. So we'll come out. But anyway,
Yeah,
that's a big deal. That's a really big deal.
it really is. All right. So gracefulmovestx.com. Find you on social media, Graceful Moves Texas. Do you want to give your phone number? The company
Please,
phone
yeah.
number?
Yeah, company phone number is going to be 713-280-7990, option 2. 713
Okay.
280 7990 option 2.
And we will have that information at the bottom of the podcast as well. But we're about to sign off here. Any last words other than I want to, first of all, say thank you so much for coming on here because this is such important information. And I'm so impressed with your company. Everybody should
Yeah.
call you. Thank you for tuning in to the Real and Real Estate Podcast. I hope today's insights have inspired and empowered you. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share the podcast with anyone who might benefit. Have questions or a topic you'd like us to explore? We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay informed, stay inspired, and keep moving towards success.